Welcome to Indie Gaming Gems, where we unearth the best-kept secrets in the indie scene, one pixel-packed adventure at a time. This time, I'm bringing you the 10 best indie games I've discovered in February of 2025, and trust me, these aren't just your average downloads. We're talking skateboarding roguelikes, rhythm-fueled dungeon crawlers, monster summoning RPGs, and even some mystical lake fishing, because why not? If you're always on the prowl for your next indie obsession, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden gem. And I want to hear from you, what indie bangers have you discovered this month? Drop your recommendations in the comments, and who knows, your pick might just make it into a future episode or the book. Let's dive in. Mika and the Witch's Mountain is a fantasy adventure game that follows Mika, an aspiring witch, as she embarks on a journey to the summit of Mount Gaon. Tasked with delivering packages across a charming island, players navigate the skies on Mika's magic broom, exploring a mini open world filled with secrets and magic. The game emphasizes a cozy, lighthearted experience, allowing players to unwind and relax while engaging in missions that strengthen Mika's abilities and relationships with the island's inhabitants. As players progress, they can update their brooms, unlock new outfits, and discover various treasures, enhancing gameplay and exploration. This whimsical art style and enchanting gameplay evokes the charms of the classic titles like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which has vibrant visuals and open world exploration. The delivery missions, though, and the flying mechanics are reminiscent of the Nights into Dreams games. That offers, the nostalgic experience that blends the mechanics with a fresh, modern storytelling. For gamers who appreciate the blend of retro-inspired design and that contemporary gameplay, this is a really, really cool one that captures that essence of the classics. Rift of the NecroDancer is a rhythm game that expands upon the universe of Crypt of the NecroDancer, offering a fresh musical adventure. Players guide cadence through the various stages, engaging in rhythm-based battles against waves of enemies advancing down multiple lanes. Each foe exhibits distinct behaviors, requiring players to adapt their strategies in time with the music. The game features multiple modes, including rhythm riffs, minigames reminiscent of Rhythm Heaven, and boss battles that test timing and pattern recognition. With an original soundtrack composed by Danny Baranowski and collaborators, the game delivers over 30 tracks that enhance its engaging gameplay. Additionally, players can customize their experience by creating custom beat maps, using external music, and sharing them via the Steam Workshop. The classic Guitar Hero style lane-based rhythm mechanics of Rift definitely invoke the classic titles and my memories of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, because it requires the precise timing and pattern recognition that were key of those classic games. Those mini games, though, inspired by Rhythm Heaven, adds that nostalgic touch, and that blends the gameplay elements with new challenges. So it's definitely a refreshing experience that plays homage to the predecessors, but then has some new innovative features. Sword of the Necromancer Resurrection is a 3D remake of the original action RPG, enhancing the experience with revamped graphics and dynamic combat. Players step into the role of Tama, a former bandit, on a quest to revive her beloved Coco using the forbidden powers of the Necromancer's sword. The game introduces a tactical summoning system, allowing players to resurrect defeated enemies as allies, each with customizable behaviors. With procedurally generated dungeons, a local co-op mode, and an art style inspired by 6th generation console classics, the game offers nostalgic and modern gameplay elements. However, some reviewers do note that while the heartfelt story is engaging, the combat can feel dull, and there are occasional technical issues, so hopefully those are fixed in an update. To me, the art style and dungeon crawling mechanics are reminiscent to the classics like the Dark Cloud series. It gives you that blend of action and RPG elements. The summoning feature, though, that reminds me of the Azure Dream games if you played those, Azure Dreams. And that's where you could recruit and train creatures to assist in battles too. So while the updated 3D graphics aim to capture the charm of that 6th generation consoles, that is that feeling that the visuals seem less polished, even though it feels like it was completely done on purpose. Runa and the Chaikurú Legacy is a 3D action platformer that immerses players in a fantasy world inspired by South American landscapes and cultures. Players take on the role of Runa, a courageous adventurer exploring the ancient ruins of the Chaikurú civilization. The game combines exploration, puzzle solving, and combat, featuring environments such as jungles, rivers, and caves. In combat, players can master the Boladoros, overcome platforming challenges, and solve puzzles left by the Chaikurú to uncover their secrets. The game also offers mystical abilities to alter the environment and access new areas, along with collectibles and artifacts that enrich the narrative. The game designs evoke the charm of the classic 3D platformers from the late 90s and early 2000s, so think about like Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie. The vibrant color palette and level design harken back to an era where the exploration and discovery were the forefront of the gaming experiences. And then adding in the traditional South American elements, that's super cool. The use of the Boladoros, assuming I'm saying that right, and the regional music add a unique twist to that familiar platforming formula. Ailuri is a hand-drawn 2D platformer that follows the journey of an endangered red panda named Ailuri. Players navigate intricate levels filled with puzzles, obstacles, and hidden secrets to rescue fellow creatures and restore balance to the world. The game offers single-player and couch co-op modes, allowing for collaborative exploration. As players progress, they can unlock mystical abilities by collecting essences of defeated enemies, enhancing gameplay dynamics. The vibrant and engaging art style brings diverse environments to life. However, some players have reported issues with the hitbox detection and occasional bugs that could affect your experience, so again, hopefully those are ironed out. Ailuri does provide, though, a heartfelt adventure that raises awareness about endangered species through its endearing characters and storytelling. These mechanics and level design show me the charm of the classic 16-bit platformers, the mascot platformers like Sonic the Hedgehog and Rayman. The hand-drawn visuals and fluid animations, they definitely move back to when the artistry of the games were the forefront, and they offer a nostalgic experience for those familiar with those 90s platformers. While the game does capture the essence of the classics, the enhancements of couch co-op and that encyclopedia detailing real-life endangered species, that adds a pretty cool depth and educational value. Time for what I call the Game of the Month. Oh my gosh, I'm a dork. Helskate is a skateboarding action roguelike that combines high-speed trick performance with intense combat scenarios. Players navigate the hellish realm of birth time, executing grinds, flips, and combos to power up attacks against monstrous adversaries. The game offers a variety of weapons and gear, enabling players to tailor their playstyle and experiment with different builds. Despite its innovative blend of genres, some players have noted that the skating mechanics can feel unrefined, and the game may benefit from some additional content in the future to enhance their replayability. Helskate is also available on multiple consoles, so PC, Switch, Xbox Series X and S, and the PS5. This fusion of skateboarding mechanics and it's reminiscent of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, but then, you have the roguelike elements, which brings a fresh twist on the genre. The game's vibrant, punk-inspired aesthetics and soundtracks evoke the energy of the early 2000s extreme sports like Fanatic time. However, the controls right now, they aren't as precise as I'd like them, but, the promise of having future content is going to be cool. If you enjoy those classic retro skateboarding games, this one is really, really cool, which is why it's our Game of the Month. Into the Emberlands is a cozy exploration game with roguelike elements. Players assume the role of the Lightbearer, equipped with an ember-fueled lantern, venturing into a procedurally generated world shrouded in miasma. The primary objectives include rescuing lost knacks, gathering resources, and rebuilding the village to create a safe haven. The game emphasizes strategic planning, as each step consumes ember, requiring careful route management. The game has received very positive reviews on Steam, and the charm and art style and relaxing gameplay are what really set this game apart. The grid-based movement and resource management, to me, evokes that strategic charm of the classic Heroes of Might and Magic, specifically like number 3. The non-violent, exploration-focused gameplay, that has that Link's Awakening remake feel, which is really cool. So that's where you have your discovery and your puzzle-solving taking precedence over the combat, because some Zelda games are combat-focused. Link's Awakening is more doing little puzzles. And the hand-drawn visuals and strange soundtrack further enhance the experience. Tempus is an atmospheric 2D puzzle platformer that immerses players in a desolate world filled with intricate physics-based challenges. Players control a unique creature, a hybrid of bush baby, owl, and fox, navigating through wind temples, swamplands, and other meticulously designed environments. The game emphasizes exploration and problem solving, with each level presenting new puzzles that require skill and creativity. Handcrafted pixel art and ambient soundtrack enhance the immersive experience, while a dedicated speedrunning mode offers additional replayability for those seeking to master the game's mechanics. Templebound has garnered some positive feedback, specifically the engaging gameplay and nostalgic aesthetic. This design and the mechanics, they feel like the classic Game Boy era titles, which is awesome, and it's reminiscent of the beloved platformers that combine that exploration and puzzle solving elements. This physics-based gameplay shows, that the simplicity and challenge of those early handheld games could still be captured, which is really cool. And including the speed running mode adds a modern twist, so that encourages you to give it one more time to refine your skills and compete for your best completion time. This one almost got Game of the Month. Guns and Grunts is a mid-paced action platformer that draws inspiration from classic titles like Contra and Turrican. Set in the dystopian future, players control Rudy Hammond, an intelligent boar on a mission to overthrow the oppressive Technate regime. The gameplay involves shooting, swimming, and rolling through various levels filled with mutants, giant robots, and scientists. Players can find power-ups and earn upgrades to enhance Rudy's abilities. The game features retro pixel art, graphics, and a chiptune soundtrack that complements its nostalgic appeal. However, some people have noticed that the excitement may quickly fade due to the simplicity and short gameplay loop. Guns and Grunts is available on multiple platforms, so that's all the usual suspects. So you have PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and iOS. So you got a lot of options. Don't see Nintendo Switch though. To me, the game's design mechanics that resembles the run and gun found in Contra, with the side-scrolling levels and intense firefights. A little bit of Metal Slug in there too. The inclusion of swimming sections and the environmental interactions, that gets you to some of that Turrican. That's the blending of shooting and exploration. So I really do love the pixel art style and the chiptune music. And of course, that artwork does look like Barnyard Commandos. Lake of Creatures is a fast-paced action fishing roguelike that challenges players to cleanse lakes infested with mutated creatures using an arsenal of weapons that shoot lasers and explosions. So you're basically shooting the fish out of the water. Players can catch over 200 different fish to acquire treasures that modify their builds, leading to powerful attack synergies. The game features procedurally generated lakes, ensuring varied playthroughs, and offers over 100 upgrades to enhance replayability. While the pixel art graphics and chiptune soundtrack add to its retro charm, it should be noted that the game's high difficulty and floaty controls can be challenging for people. So this combat and fishing mechanics, it definitely reminds me of a lot of the classic Zelda games. I mean, you have your Link's Awakening where you can do like a little mini game of fishing, and then you have your Binding of Isaac, which is known for that procedurally generated dungeons and diverse item synergies. A pixel art style and chiptune music, that gives you your nostalgic aspects of the 16-bit and 8-bit eras, but the steep difficulty curve and somewhat unrefined titles, that means that you need to, get through that glass ceiling before you can really blow the crap out of all those fish out of the water. That's a wrap for this month's Indie Gaming Gems. Thanks for rolling through Helskate's grind rails, grooving to riff to the NecroDancer's beats, and uncovering the mysteries of Runa and the Chaikurú legacy with me. A huge shout out to our executive producers, Akriloff, Barner Turner, David Isherwood, the disgruntled gamer Lunchbox from the Thunderdome Gaming Society, and Jesse Glenn. Your support keeps this indie-fueled adventure alive. Now it's your turn. Drop your favorite indie finds in the comments below. Your picks might just level up into a future episode or even make it into the Indie Gaming Gems book that's upcoming. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next hidden treasure. Till then, keep summoning monsters, skating through chaos, and diving into the unknown. And of course, blowing the shit out of fish. As always, happy gaming.